Hey guys, Dakota Lane here. Hope your presentation challenge is going good. Today I want to talk to you about what is it like to reach out to a personal trainer, why might it be important, and what maybe you should avoid in one. So a little bit of background on myself. I entered high school at 81 pounds. I didn't break 100 pounds my junior year, so I was essentially a hobbit. After high school, I entered college seminary, which I did for 2 years after I discerned out. I went to Franciscan University of Steubenville, where I got my degree in theology. Then I came back to Denver and got my master's in leadership for the new evangelization. It was in seminary that I started my fitness journey, and that's really where I want to begin. So what I learned early on is that 1, I had no idea what I was doing in fitness or nutrition. 2, it was really difficult. And 3, no matter how good I got, it really didn't satisfy me. There was still that innate desire. There was that God-shaped hole, as they say, in my heart that I knew wasn't going to satisfy me, no matter how big my biceps were, no matter how nice my abs were. Now, as we all know, before sin entered the world with the fall of man, our body was subordinate to our soul, not in a less than way, but in a way that our soul would control our body, our passions, our appetites. After the fall, that became disrupted. Now our body rebels against our soul. When our soul desires unity with God, our body says, nah, we can skip prayer. Yeah, go look at that pornography. That'll make you happy. Skip your workout. You don't need to go out of your way to make that pastoral act of charity. You don't need to go visit the sick. You can just be lazy. Now we have a lot of tendencies to go against what's good for us. So then the question becomes, how do we reorder that relationship between the body and the soul? How do we create a healthy unity? And so we're trying to figure out, how does our body become subordinate to our soul again? Well, as priests, you guys are in the direct line of work for that, bestowing and ministering grace to people through the sacraments, strengthening them to combat those natural tendencies after the fall, to serve ourselves and to become sinful people. Of course, grace is the first aspect of that. Well, on a more natural level, there's a really cool other way to help restore that relationship, and that's what I learned through fitness and nutrition. When I was able to start controlling my appetites, when I was able to start saying no to that pizza and that ice cream, when I was able to start running that mile when I didn't want to, when I wanted to stop early, to push past the last rep, to do a workout when I really didn't want to, when I was able to start doing that, I realized it's so much easier now to become more humble, to gossip less, to be less gluttonous, to be less lazy. There was the direct correlation between being able to control my appetites and being able to push past mental limits, and also virtue. So it all sounds fine and well, but the reality is that it's freaking difficult. It's really hard to push past that last rep. It's even harder to say no to that food when we're at a party, when you're hosted at a parishioner's house. It's even harder when there's alcohol all around. No offense to you guys, but nowadays a lot of priests end up becoming practical alcoholics. They become spiritually lazy. They end up overeating. They end up fueling their body with crap. And they end up, almost in a way, abusing their vocation, when in reality, if they had those things in order, it's not a vain desire to put your health first. It's actually serving your vocation. The more healthy you are, the better you're able to serve God's people and to do what you were called to do. It's no surprise that still the number one cause of death in America is things related to lack of proper nutrition and lack of exercise. Now, when you put this in the reference of the priesthood, this is such a tragedy. I mean, how many vocations can be cut short because of health issues? Of course, you want to put your spirituality first. Obviously, we're just passerbys in this earth, and then our final home is heaven. But what we do here matters. You guys have a direct impact on souls getting to heaven. So, because it's difficult, and there's so much information out there nowadays. If you Google nutrition and fitness, I mean, you have so many different diets: intermittent fasting, ketogenic, paleo. You have different types of exercise. You have CrossFit. You have bodybuilding. You have marathon runners. You have everything in between. There's so much out there. How do we know what's proper and what's right to do? Now, even though there's a million different routes out there, there's a ton of different ways to do things. The good news is that there's science, there's proven methods that show us what to do right. So this is where having a coach or a personal trainer comes in. Now, having a coach or personal trainer isn't just for professional athletes. This isn't just for people who don't know what they're doing. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter if you know what you're doing or if you don't know what you're doing. Michael Jordan had a coach. Beginners have a coach. A coach is someone simply to help you along the journey, who's done it longer than you, who's going to help you to make the most of your effort. You might be working really, really hard in that direction. Well, if that's not the right direction, you should be going that way. Your hard work is for nothing. So having a good coach is somebody who can help you point you in the right direction so that you can go all out and that you're making the most of your efforts. So as far as what to look for in a personal trainer or a coach, it's similar to a spiritual director. It's similar to an accountability partner. The best way to do things is to have a coach who first of all cares, who second of all knows that things are customized for individuals, and third of all has a passion for what they do. Because the journey's never easy, it's never perfect, and there's always going to be challenges that come up along the way. So having a coach who can help you, to motivate you, to push you past your limits, to challenge you out of your comfort zone, but not challenge you so much that it breaks you and you want to give up. Of course, another good thing to look for is somebody who has the same kind of view of the world as you, somebody who's Catholic, who knows that it's not just about looking good. There's things that are more important than that, but that isn't important. It's not just about the external, it's about the internal also. There's a lot of people who advertise, customized plans, but they're really not customized. You can tell they're cookie cutter. Well, the awesome thing nowadays is that there's tons of online coaches. There's people you can reach out to across the world who can keep you accountable, who can give you plans and help you to implement it for fitness and nutrition, who also have good hearts and who care about you, because along the way there's probably going to be emotional things that come up. There's going to be other things that are just human issues, and it's helpful to have somebody who has the same kind of scope of the world as you, the same frame of reference to help walk you through those, and they understand a little bit more of where you're coming from. Now, obviously as priests you have a very unique life, and so it's going to be somebody unique to help you in that particular way. But my last piece of advice to you is to not be afraid of it. Our bodies are our one vehicle to live this life. In your house, if you don't pay rent, you get evicted. The same thing is with our body. If we don't treat our body the right way, we're going to get evicted early. If we eat properly and exercise properly, we're going to have a longer time. The other interesting thing is that, if you're driving and your brakes go out in your car, people have no problem dropping hundreds of dollars right away to fix their brakes. But when it comes to their health and their fitness, they end up putting it as their last priority, when really this is going to inform so many different aspects of your life. So don't be afraid to reach out to a coach or a personal trainer. Take that step of investment into yourself. Take your health seriously. I understand it may be scary sometimes. I understand you might not know where to begin, but just take that step. Make that commitment to yourself to become a healthier version, to allow those practices in fitness and nutrition to inform your virtue, and just keep kicking butt. So hope you guys have a great rest of your presentation challenge, and we'll talk soon. Boom!